Hi, I'm Hernan Diaz, and my book Trust is Dua's monthly read for March. Trust is about the tenuous line between fact and fiction. Who draws that line? How do power and money write and rewrite history? Trust is a book made up of 4 books, a novel within the novel, a historical document, a memoir, a personal diary. And it's up to you, the reader, to figure out how these voices come together and discover what the truth about the wealthiest couple in the world may be. I had the idea for Trust many years ago. I can't pinpoint the exact moment. I find that a book for me starts many years before I put pen to paper. And it normally starts by building a library and I start reading voraciously toward whatever project I am trying to dream up. In fact, at the time, there were 2 novels competing, Trust and another novel, which is the one that I'm writing now. So that's how far back my projects go in time. As I was writing, the story changed a great deal, and I welcome these changes. For me, the process of writing is a complicated dance or negotiation between spontaneity and control. I'm not interested in either of those 2 forces totally unleashed and dominating fully over the other. If I had a clear idea of what I was going to write, this is a commonplace among writers, like, why bother? There's no sense of exploration. But if I, on the other hand, were totally disoriented, I think I would be paralyzed by fear and confusion. So the story changed a great deal. I think the greatest change was that this novel started out as a straight up linear novel, and then as it took shape, it did so around this more complicated structure of 4 books within the book. I write mostly either at home, which is where I am now, at libraries and at cafes with outsized noise-canceling headphones. I'm one of those. I write longhand with a fountain pen. Those notebooks you see there, this is Trust, that's in the distance, and it's all with a pen, and then I type it all down, and that's the first really big editorial pass, is the typing. I don't draft. When I reach the final sentence, I'm done. I mean, I edit a lot, like a crazy person, but I don't draft in the traditional sense. So it's probably a terrible process for anyone else other than me. I don't advise it, but I'm stuck with it now. In terms of research, which is a word that I'm not terribly fond of, I prefer just to use the word reading, because my process is more chaotic and more haphazardous and guided by instinct and likes and dislikes, rather than by a systematic protocol. But anyway, I read voraciously as I write, before, of course, and during the writing process. I have so many friends who refuse to even read fiction as they write their own fiction. Not the case for me. And I work with what in the world of academic research is known as primary sources. So texts produced during the time, as opposed to, say, works of history or, so I read a ton of fiction from the period, in this case from the roughly 1880s to the 1930s. And then I also work with historical documents, so personal papers by some historical figures. Congressional hearings, newspapers, magazines, financial treatises, And I had to I didn't know anything about finance when I started writing this book, and I taught myself by reading documents from the 20s and 30s, because the vocabulary changes so quickly that I thought I should just do that. I think one of the things that I feel for myself that is defining is that I try to vanish in my writing. I'm not a testimonial writer. I'm not that interested in leaving a record of myself and my own being. I am more interested in conjuring up someone completely alien to me and disappearing in that tone, in that prose, in that cadence, and so much of my process is in the service of that. I don't know if other people do that aside from defining certain characters, but I feel that is part of every single sentence that I write.